Actor Nigel Havers divides his time between homes in London and Wiltshire that he shares with his wife, Georgiana.
This is PJ, very nice, gentle horse. I love horses, I really love them, especially when they run fast and win me money.
For over 30 years, Nigel has been one of this country's most recognisable and popular actors.
Actors are supposed to live in the present, or on the moment, as they say. So it's kind of handy for me that I don't worry about the past. But I have become much more reflective in the last few years. Because I suppose I've gone beyond the halfway mark now. No, I've always been sort of spoken of as a sort of, a posh, guy, always plays those sort of parts and stuff. So what I'm really hoping for is that my background is not like that at all. This is a picture of my mother and father. I wasn't around when this was taken.
No.
And here's a picture of my father, and that's a large whiskey in his left hand there. And I think probably on the television was the first episode of Doctor Who, something like that. And I'm hiding behind the sofa.
And your eyes are very large.
Because it was so frightening. My father was a very easygoing, level-tempered man. He became an MP as well as a barrister and served under Margaret Thatcher as Attorney General and then Lord Chancellor. And here's a family. There's my father, and there's my grandfather, Sir Cecil. My grandpa was famous for being the judge, the last judge to sentence a woman to be hanged because he presided over the Ruth Ellis case. Famous for that. Famous for all sorts of things in law terms. As for my mother's side, I know nothing. My parents were not remotely interested in looking back. They only were looking forward. It's almost as if, my ancestry stopped with my grandfather. Bang. That's all, that's all you need to know.
To go back beyond his grandfather, Nigel is off to Hampshire to see his father's older brother, Tony Havers.
My father died over 20 years ago now. But Tony is as fit and well. And I think he's 94, 95, and he's full of life. I know that, obviously my father was a lawyer and my grandfather was a judge, and beyond that, it's never really been talked about. So I'm interested to see what Tony's going to tell me. Oh, someone's farm. Oh, that's not right. Wait a minute. We'll find it. Don't worry.
Nigel.
Uncle Tony.
Dear boy.
How lovely to see you.
Marvellous to see you.
Marvellous to see you.
Well, this is not a surprise, but it's a pleasure.
Good.
Come on in.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Right. You have a good trip down?
Yeah, I did. It only took 5 hours.
Well, it's great to see you
Well, it's
again.
great to see you.
Very interesting that you've come here to see me, because we've got here a very good family tree.
Okay.
Now, here you are, Nigel, born 1951. Great, that's right.
I'm afraid 'tis, yes. I wish I could lie about it, but I can't. Okay.
You, son of Michael and Carol. Then we move on up to Cecil Robert Havers.
Yes.
Much loved in our family, in fact, adored.
We loved him, we really did. When I was at prep school, I suddenly got this note in the post, Dear Nigel, I had the Beatles for tea on Thursday, and I got their autographs for you, enclosed.
Yeah,
and there they
absolutely.
were. I've still got them.
Yeah.
And can you imagine that at a boarding school? I was a hero,
Yeah, you could have been.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely. And then we go on up further. Agnes, who was married to Daniel, that would have been your great-grandmother, great-grandfather. Now we're getting, Nigel, we're now getting near the top of the tree.
Okay.
George Buckingham. Now then, have a good moniker at him.
Yeah.
Confident and a good family maker. 17 children.
17. Yeah.
14 who survived. And this really is the sort of culmination of the whole thing. This was at Salisbury House, which was the Buckingham main house, large house, in Unthank Road in Norwich. This is George here, and this is the great childbearer, Elizabeth. Buckingham. And she was, in her single life, Elizabeth Hamblion.
Hamblion, okay.
So, these are the 14 children of the family. Now, when I was about 6, my mother and father took me to visit Elizabeth in her house, because every Sunday morning she insisted that all the family should attend Salisbury House. Right. She wanted to see them.
Oh, right.
So we attended, and we were lined up, and I was told to sit on the floor because I was only 6.
Yeah.
So I was down here somewhere. And we waited and waited, and against the wall, because she was up in the bedroom above, and she got into her lift up there, and her lift came down, and the doors parted.
Yeah.
In a wheelchair, didn't move, except to have a searching glance from left across to the centre, over to the right.
Yeah.
And she suddenly said, "Where's Geoffrey?" And Geoffrey got into trouble for not coming.
Oh.
Dead scary.
She sounds a pretty...
She was a regal lady, wasn't she?
She's very regal. Looks a bit like Queen Victoria in a
Yes,
sense.
absolutely Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
A long dress and lace cap.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, Nigel, is I know a lot about all those people, but the one part of the family tree I don't know anything about at all is Elizabeth Hamlin. It's a blank sheet.
With his uncle's help, Nigel has managed to trace his father's line back to his great-great-grandmother, Elizabeth Hamblion.
You end up with this woman who looks just like a sort of Queen Victoria. I don't know what to expect, but she does put on a very grand air. I need to know about her. I really do.
To begin his search, Nigel has come home to London and ordered up Elizabeth Hamblion's birth certificate.
Oh, wait. So here we are. It's from the registration district of Colchester in 1841 in the county of Essex. So that makes her an Essex girl. She probably didn't wear white high heels or have a head like that. But she's still an Essex bird in my... Right, okay. The mother, Elizabeth Ann Hamblion, and her father was Henry Hamblion. Here we are, Henry Hamblion. And it says occupation of father, driver. Driver. A driver. Where did all this grandness come from, I'm wondering? Anyway, let's have a look on the internet. I've loaded up the census for 1841, so let's put her name in. Birth year, we know, is 1841. Okay, here we go. Oh, right there is daughter, Elizabeth Ann. She was 2 months old when the census was taken. And at the bottom, here we are. Let's have a look at that. That says Henry Hamblion. That's the father. And let's just go. And he says his occupation. Does that say Hackney? Hackney master. I think it does. He was a coachman of some sort. Or a taxi driver. Looks like he was a cab driver. Take me to Whitechapel, please. Certainly, sir. So much for the stately home.